Just wing it. Fuck it, we'll do it live.
This is episode 193 of the Belligerent Beavs podcast, the official. Benny, we're sorry about the Mariners, but it was a hell of a run episode. Benjamin Lawrence, Sebastian Wehage, diehard Mariners fan. They almost did it.
Almost.
Tonally, it feels like I'm about to rub some salt in the wound, but I promise you I'm not going to.
No,
I wanted Beavs to win. You were at Game 5. It feels like we need to at least pay homage to this postseason baseball run that we know at least a good chunk of our listener base was into as well.
Yeah, it was like we're not used to playoff baseball, so I would hope, at least the way that I'm looking at it, was that it was really fun. It was disappointing we didn't make the World Series, but being at Game 5, I was talking with Terry before we started recording, and one of the coolest sporting experiences I've ever had. It was really
coolest
really cool.
Non-Oregon State experience you've ever had.
Yeah.
Right.
Playoff baseball is just different.
It is. Yeah, I didn't know, but it very much is.
Grand Slam had to be crazy.
Dude, the Grand Slam, like, I've never had an experience like that where the crowd went as crazy as they did. But I mean, if you think about it, like, it really was sort of an elimination game, even though it wasn't. It was tied at 2. The series was, and came back to tie it in the bottom of the 8th, got the bases loaded, hit a grand slam. I mean, unless it was the bottom of the 9th, it couldn't have been more storybook than hitting a grand slam to go up in the bottom of the 8th inning. It was nuts.
Yeah.
Very cool.
I can't believe I wasn't paying closer attention to this, but did Macklemore release any new music during this Mariners run?
I was wondering this.
Was there a new after they beat the Tigers in, like, what was that game? 15 innings, 16 innings, I think 16.
Yeah.
So I saw one of the tweets or skeets I saw was, you just know Macklemore is like deep in a basement somewhere writing the cheesiest but most sincere Mariner song, and it's going to be so dumb and slap so hard, and I can't wait to listen to it. And I was like, God, I hope we get another Macklemore song.
We used to play Macklemore after the 7th inning stretch, after the Take Me Out to the Ball game, and after, I forget what comments he made, but he made some comments that pissed people off, and after he made those comments, Macklemore was sort of erased from like the Mariners organization.
Games? Wow.
I mean, I haven't seen him at Mariners games. They don't play his music at Mariners games.
Did he say something about, like, ownership or the fan base?
No, it was about the.
Yeah, he made that song. He made that anti-Biden song.
I thought he had said something like "fuck the USA" or something.
Fuck America.
Like that.
Yeah.
Fuck America.
Well, I mean, yeah. And okay, yeah, that'll.
Yeah. Yeah, so after he said that, he is not as involved, which sucks because his song about the Mariners is it's a great song.
That shouldn't erase a Dave Niehaus tribute.
Yeah, that's true.
In my opinion, we're gonna get crushed for this, America. And I just don't care. I completely forgot about that Macklemore song, but yeah, I wish.
Well, it just proves that Macklemore is not
replaceable,
fit to make an anthem for a team in the playoffs.
Yeah,
no,
he's no ASCON. Instead, he started making a podcast.
Macklemore has a podcast.
Well, really? I mean, like this podcast.
He's on this podcast. Oh, you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think with glasses, I don't look like him anymore. Used to,
yeah,
and
that's
a wig. Yeah, I know. And no beard. No
I will
glasses.
still listen to Irish Celebration every St. Patrick's Day.
That song is so good.
It's
he has some songs. People know him.
He has a lot of great songs. People always hated on. I feel like everyone who ever hated on Macklemore was like hiding the fact they're like, I only like 2 or 15 songs of his. That's it. He shouldn't. And then he got so much shit because he shouldn't have beaten Kendrick in the Grammys that year. Like, that's not his fault. He doesn't decide the Grammys. And so people were mad at him for that. But yeah, that album though, The Heist, and a bunch of his old stuff too, was good.
Yeah. His two songs that are popular, I'm not a huge fan of, but like his other stuff is really good.
Like you mean
The
Thrift
deep
Shop?
cuts, Thrift Shop, and Can't Hold Us Down.
Oh yeah, not my favorite.
Those are like his. Yeah, Irish Celebration is one of my
I'm
favorites.
trying to remember the first Macklemore song. I think it was "And We Danced." Would have been the first one but anyway,
he has a song called
if it's
Victory
not
Lap.
hot tubbing on a late night, I don't care.
we could have an Ashcon episode. We could have a Macklemore episode.
We should have them both on and have a rap battle.
Yeah, but only about playoff baseball.
Yeah,
The Ashcon would win that one.
yeah,
Pretty
you'd win that
Yeah,
one.
pretty
probably.
handily. Anyways, we're not here to talk about playoff baseball rappers.
Yes, we are. Let's
in
talk
particular.
more.
We're here to have a live watch-along between the Timberwolves and the Trailblazers, who are playing right now in Portland. Benny, I know you're sad about the Mariners still, but the Blazers are winning 87-83 with 2 minutes and 16 seconds left. And you and I are going to fight.
In the game?
In the third quarter.
Yeah, yeah.
2 minutes of the third.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I texted you guys this morning. This is the start of the most improbable NBA championship run of all time.
What year are they winning the championship?
Okay.
Is it this year? Next year? 10 years from now?
Someday.
Spirit is 77.
Someday.
The Blazers are just going to win they'll win it in 2077, and they'll just win it every century on the 77 mark.
I like this idea.
Whatever. They're going to have more titles than the Clippers.
Yeah, we're
Eventually.
beating the number
Says
5
the
team.
Timberwolves fan.
Yeah, we're beating the number 5 team in the official NBA.com power rankings.
That's the official.
So I like our chances.
Yeah, I'm still not accustomed to they'll be like, all these podcasts are coming like NBA preview part 1, rank teams 30 through 21. And I'm like, oh, the Wolves are probably in this, so I better listen to it. And we've been good for like 5 years now. But the previous 30, I'm still just accustomed to like, yep, 25 this year. Okay, that's a few steps up from last time. So yeah, I should be way more mad that we're down 90-85 with 127 left in the third. That's the last live update I'll give until
I have a live update to ask you, Terry. Your picture you sent earlier of you at your laptop. What does your sticker say? You're the...
It says trust yourself, I think. Let me look at it.
You're looking at your laptop.
What? But what sticker are you talking about?
Shoot your sticker. You're the okay.
That says you're the GOAT. That's from Flagrant Magazine. They had,
all right,
I was going to give you
last
that.
time Flagrant. It says you're the GOAT. So I put.
I couldn't read the G.
In between the click and the space bar. So like sometimes I'll forget it's there and then I'll catch it, and it says.
And you'll
"You're
remember.
the GOAT."
I'm the GOAT. I'm
yes.
the GOAT.
And it's a nice.
All I gotta do is
it's a nice little espresso shot.
All I gotta do is hit spacebar and I am the GOAT.
Every time I hit, my computer
You are the
shouts, whether I have headphones on or not. The speakers activate and they shout, "You're the fucking GOAT."
That's
that
why
reminds
It makes
me of
coffee
audio
shops
problems.
weird. It's why I can't work in coffee shops anymore.
That reminds me of when I found out how to do scripts on my Mac, and we used to set things up for work, and they would be things like like prospecting stuff or marketing stuff, and then one day I started getting real creative because every Tuesday at noon in San Francisco they used to have this siren blare, and it was to test, I don't know, the tsunami warning or something, but
That's the first Wednesday of every month for us.
all right, so yeah.
So
they would do that in San Francisco, and it was all old school speakers, and the whole system was all weird, and it was all over the city. And I had figured out if I could create a macro script that would, at that same time, wait 10 seconds so that the siren could start, and then it would start playing European, techno,
That would start with a similar
house
sound,
music.
but yeah,
it would start with a
escalate.
similar sound, and then
And then
one
wait for the
day
bass.
I was we had a big shared office space, and it was an open floor plan. There's all these tables everywhere. And one day I forgot that it was set up to go, and we went and got lunch, and it just played the same song on repeat for 90 minutes on full blast after the fact. And yeah, which I got in trouble. Nancy Pelosi's niece was the manager of the building, and the whole of the whole a shared office space, and then the number of times that she would come up to me and yell at me to be quiet.
Given your luck, I'm surprised she didn't like come up and yell at you and then ask, actually, would you like to be Nancy Pelosi's chief of staff?
If they were
That's
smart,
generally where your stories go.
if they were smart,
Yeah.
no, I just got yelled at all the time for being too loud, and that one I'm sure didn't help my
That's
circumstances.
Oh, some things don't change.
resplendent
Some things
of the
don't change.
time that you probably didn't break in because you probably could just walk in, but got into my room at PyCap, put Hot Subbing on the Late Night on full volume, full blast, and then left and locked the door.
And I took all the light bulbs out.
And I never came home, and people in the house were trying all night to find a way to get in and turn the speaker off. And I woke up elsewhere. We'll leave it at that. To just hundreds of texts being like, turn this shit off.
Yeah, people were mad at one person on this podcast, and it was not
People
the
were
person
mad
that
at
broke
one
into your
person.
room.
Yeah, it worked. It worked. No, I was planning to do so much more stuff to your room, but when I took all the light bulbs out, I realized I couldn't see anything. So I just
one of the few
door and
times.
left.
One of the few times your hubris got the best of you. You should have done that part last. You did it
Yeah.
first, and it ruined
Yeah.
the rest of your plans.
It ruined it all, but it still worked. It still worked. Not nearly as
Guys.
much as when I tried to make your bedroom explode by rewiring the doorbell chime next to your door.
Oh my god!
And it started to like. catch
That was
fire.
scary. I remember that. That it was like two wires too, and all you did was like twist them
switched
a
them.
little bit, and they started smoking like a lot. And I saw like how am I going to explain to the national chapter how the house burned down and why? I'm going to have to come up with a lie that's so much more convincing.
My idea was that it
JP
would
thought-
trigger the doorbell to go off nonstop all night, but it didn't work. It just started a fire.
Right, but a small one. A small
Yeah,
fire.
see, some ideas are better than others.
Not like you
Speaking
built
of-
a
matters.
bonfire within 10
Right.
feet of the house or anything. Got
Right.
Well, yeah, it
yelled
was.
at, scolded in front of
Well, you-
everyone.
Got scolded pretty good for that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
Well,
did
you got
what was
sunned.
that called?
You
A,
got
ne-
sunned.
a Neanderthal degenerate something. It was like 6 words that didn't go together, and I was just like, I mean, one of those would suffice, and they're all hilarious.
But it was so hurtful.
When you get yelled at by like an older person calling you a Neanderthal, it's one of the even if you're in
When
the
you're an adult,
even if you're in the wrong, yeah, you're 20, they're 38. It's like I can't not laugh at this. It's a funny word. It's like caterpillar. It's just an objectively funny word.
yeah.
Just the structure, all the
And
consonants.
you would
Didn't-
probably think about
didn't feel
how
funny
you
at the
could use
time.
it yourself to insult others. You were probably like, yeah, that's a good one. Okay. Oh, I can
Yeah.
say that to them. Yeah. Link coming for you.
and
Lee.
I'll be more sophisticated in anyway.
Nice.
You Neanderthal.
You did light a small fire that night, JP, and it was akin to, I'd say, probably the same size fire lit under the Beaver football team's ass by when they beat the Lafayette Leopards for their first win. Of the
leotard
season.
leopards. We all call
At-
that win.
Yep.
We did.
We all had that as a win.
We are back. We're
One
back.
for one as of last week.
Hey, if you bet on college sports, tune in to Belligerent Beavs. We
Yeah.
are locked in.
We'll make
Yeah.
you money.
Yeah. Ride
Screw the
wave.
Barstool can't miss parlay. We've got your money right here.
We got it all.
Speaking of Barstool, they were one of the Twitter handles that fucking roasted those guys that interrupted the interview after the game. Which, by the way, if you're
Everyone,
listening
yeah.
and you did that, don't do that again, please.
Great opportunity to learn. Shout
Yeah,
out to
it will
Olivia
be an
Cleary,
opportunity
who
to learn.
handled it like a champ. But
Yeah.
be in the
she handled it
background, be excited, yell "Go Beavs," whatever. But still, let them do their job. Also, I don't want to be a hater on the generation below me, but
I know what you're going to say, and I
can we
agree.
6'7"?
I just did it.
It's so dumb. It's one of the worst of these things that's ever existed.
I think that's kind of the point.
That makes it worse.
Well,
it's not self-aware in that sense.
I just really hope there's never
because LaMelo Ball said
this...
6'7" funny one day. That's the trademark, the benchmark of a generation. You're better than that.
I don't know where it came from.
You're better than
that. There's AI-generated songs. There's AI-generated Sora videos. Just embrace it, man.
So it's been done enough. No, I'm not going to embrace it.
Well, you don't have to embrace it. But those guys,
it's not that just goons. They could have been yelling other stuff too, and it would have been bad. But that's not the main point.
They shouldn't have done that.
You can be in the background smiling and stuff, like swelling the scene a little bit while giving adequate space and
or
allowing her to do her live shot. Just being like kind of goofy, like, hey, I'm here, whatever.
Yeah, the interrupting of the camera frame and like getting into it and like kind of invading her space was just too much. And like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I won't condone that. I will condone fans having a good time. That's fine. But not if somebody else's professional livelihood gets, takes a hit because of it.
And shout out to Olivia Cleary for doing a great job and maintaining composure in a spot where most of us would not. But
from what I
topic
understand,
of fans having a good time, the section of guys with their shirts off,
that was cool.
That was cool. See, that's doing it right.
Cool. Yeah.
That
was just like two guys that started it, and then
that's a trend. You go into an empty section by yourself and you take your shirt off and do it, and then see how many people can join you doing it.
The next generation will be all right, Terry.
I said the next generation will be all right. They're capable of this, so do that. Don't yell 6'7" for no reason.
I bet you they were all yelling 6'7" the entire time they were waving their
yell
shirts
6'7" while doing something else cool simultaneously, and then it'll cancel out, and we're good. That's fine.
I gotta give props to that because they did a good job. Of course, not only did they fill out like two sections of the end zone that was clearly never going to be occupied.
It's where magic happens, baby.
They were committed. Because
all game.
And it started with a few. Obviously, it grew with everyone kind of aware of what the purpose was. I mean, it wasn't a new thing to Oregon State. I think we should definitely clarify that for anyone who hasn't seen the rest of college football. Like, it's been everywhere in college athletics. And I think it started maybe at a Texas Tech game. I believe it was like one dude at a Texas Tech game, and then another guy showed up, and then it just grew and grew and grew. And like Texas Tech is
was it the game they beat us by 100 points? Because I was like, what Texas Tech game was there a completely empty section? It was like maybe that rain delay against us.
It might have been actually. I don't know what.
And then it did start. And then it did start at an Oregon State game. If that was ground zero for this movement.
Yeah, there we go. So you're welcome. You're welcome, world.
We did this. When you talk about the 2025 Beavers, you better talk about this moment.
Anyways, I've seen some other not as worthy attempts, but I thought ours was pretty damn good. And so I do hope that it isn't just
hats off.
That's an empty section. I think it should be, hey, this is the section. And it shouldn't be the same section every game. That's what I want to see.
Yeah.
It should be a different section,
a rolling section, and if you happen to be in it,
not even labeled, just we're like, this is where it organically starts.
It's like a flash mob.
It's got to be organic, otherwise it's kind of stupid. Like if you're like, hey, everyone, go to the south end zone, so in this section, and after the first TV timeout, we're gonna take our shirts off. Like that's not fun. It's got to be organic, where you spot it from across the stadium and you go, I have to be a part of that, and rip your shirt off on your way up to whatever seat it is that you have to get to or get from. That is what makes it fun. So don't force tradition. Make it organic.
Yeah, and that was, tough times at Oregon State. Got to make the best of what are those tough times. So that was very cool to see.
You guys see the brass beaver was brought back? Speaking of tough times and traditions.
Yeah, that was very cool.
I like that.
That was cool.
Having it in the plaza, I think is good. I think
where they really should have it, is somehow like right when the players walk out of that door, like the locker room door.
There's not enough room though.
I know.
It is kind of
But like to like rub the Beaver's head as they run onto the field.
Or
That
put
would
it
be a
inside
cool
the
tradition.
doors. Just put it inside the
Yeah.
doors and have it be mobile still. And so you bring it from Parker Plaza down inside the locker room.
Sure.
It's
Yeah.
inside the doors. The doors blow open and the players
right.
do it.
Or just
then,
somewhere
or-
where it won't get lost in the smoke and someone like runs into it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
But also,
So if it needs to be
and
like on the, like in the end zone out on the field or something, so that it's clear of the smoke, so people can actually see it. Yeah. But there's chances.
I'm
there's
worried
opportunity
though
there.
because it went missing before because it it no longer had a permanent home. So I think
was it
when-
mobile before?
I don't think it was mobile before, but when Riley took over the first time,
Define mobile.
he gifted it or gave it or offered it to Casey in the football program, and they wanted it. Or baseball program, and they wanted it, and they put it in the dugout.
Weird.
And it was in the dugout for a while, or around the dugout for a while, and then eventually, I guess the last photographic evidence of it, I think this is according to Ryan Clark's article, or I'm just remembering all the things I've read, but the last memory of it being there was like 6, maybe 5. So it was there for a decade or so, and then it just went into the Gill basement, forgotten forever. And I have to imagine that the reason for that is because it's mobile. And it's like, let's just put this away for a little bit. Oh, the season's done. We'll just tuck it over here.
Yeah.
We'll come back for it next year. And things are changing so much in college
And
athletics
next
that
year
traditions
never
cannot
came.
change. If you want this to be a tradition or you want this to exist year in, year out, it needs a
gotta come
permanent place. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or at least
I
like
like
a
putting
permanent
it.
route on a game day so that people have an expectation.
Or like a permanent spot for every sports game day.
Yeah.
Why not bring it out for every sports home games?
Yeah.
That'll
Oh,
keep
yeah.
it out of the
Doldrums.
Honors of
dust.
Gill.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm down with that. How long? When did that beaver statue, the bronze beaver statue, make its first? Like, when was it created? Do you guys know? When was it sculpted?
It was sometime in the mid 90s or early to mid 90s. I don't have the
okay.
exact
No, I
year.
thought it was earlier than that, but
I thought it was
No,
too.
it's not that old, but it became a tradition in the 90s, and to the point where the Greek life students were protecting it overnight because it was on the field. They were protecting it overnight on the field from being
vandalized.
painted or stolen by Oregon students that had presumably threatened to come take it before the Civil War. Players and coaches were bringing students pizzas and things as they camped out and kept watch over the Beaver at Parker Stadium. That is old classic college.
Yeah. That's cool.
That isn't very long ago and should easily be allowed back. Imagine
Definitely
going
here.
to Barnes now and saying, "Hey,
You need to put this statue
Oregon
on the field
students
and let us
are
party
gonna,
out there all night."
screw with the field or something that's a tradition with the team. We're willing to protect it as long as you let us hang out there all night." He'd be like, "Fuck no."
No, he'd
Get
be
off my
like,
field.
I'm gonna have Blaylock take care of that.
Yeah, go talk to my minion, Brent Blaylock.
Yeah.
I don't understand how current undergraduate students got a conversation with Barnes. That just seems the most unrealistic of all this. Anyway, we're not here to talk about that, I guess.
Not yet.
We got to talk
can
about this game a little bit.
But we will talk more about all those things whenever we get our public records request.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When
was
is that?
Now delayed. It was supposed to be yesterday.
Yeah, supposed to be yesterday.
And it is
we'll
now
updated
delayed
next Tuesday.
till next Tuesday.
So we'll see.
Citing the
A PR
Harrison.
alarm bells going off all over the place.
Yes, I assume that's the case, but hello, we should have priority. We were the first to ask. So,
Yeah.
Other than Sportico, we were the first to ask.
Sportico probably beat us to it, but no one else did.
Well, Sportico probably beat us to it because they heard us talking about it. Anyways,
Could be.
it said the number and volume of public records requests OSU is filling simultaneously, along with a temporary decrease in staff availability. Wow. Necessitates a delay in our response. Based on information currently available, we anticipate providing you with a response, or this is the funny part, or a cost estimate by October 28th.
So you're getting a cost estimate.
Definitely getting a cost estimate, but that's not what the law says.
My homie on the North Carolina beat, Shelby Swanson, posted today about getting her public records request fulfilled at the University of North Carolina about this Belichick Jordan Hudson documentary drama.
What's the Jordan?
There's so much.
Give me high level. We don't know any level.
There's supposed to be a Hard Knocks level Bill Belichick documentary in production, and one day
production started,
and one day his 24-year-old girlfriend showed up and tried to boss people around like she was the director of the whole damn thing, but wasn't involved at all, and it caused a fracas of sorts. And now it's completely paused, and there is no updated timeline, and that is on the backdrop of North Carolina doing really bad.
Yeah,
relative to expectation. So there isn't a public records or PR office in the country right now that's busier than the University of North Carolina office. So just
maybe
hanging
Oregon
that
State.
Out there.
Yeah, maybe Oregon State, but
this Belichick shit's out of control.
Yeah.
So,
anyways,
if they can do it, then you can do it.
Yeah, that's true. Well, how long ago did she request them? Anyways,
I don't have the date on that.
ORS 192.329 says that any
it's
public
always
body,
been my favorite number.
Yep, any public body has to give me or complete my request as soon as practicable. Practicable. Wow, I'm sick, by the way, so don't judge me. And without unreasonable delay. So I wrote back and essentially said, given your original estimate was October 21st, and now your estimate is October 28th, I'll take that as a firm updated deadline.
Yeah. I think that's right.
That would be 30 days from our initial request, which
not unreasonable.
It should be fulfilled in half that time, according to them and the law. So we will have it soon. We will have a lot to expose and share. I am sure of it, especially given with all the chatters.
It's a lot of chatter.
But we won't talk about that today. We'll just talk about the game.
Well, there's more rumors than yards from scrimmage that Anthony Hankerson had on Saturday right now.
Which was a lot.
More than 200. Obviously, we're not going to overreact to this. It was nice to see after I think a frustrating first half. Just, hey, you guys can impose your will on this team. And that's what they did. And Hankerson was phenomenal. It, was just nice to see him getting out in space. It's been a tough year, obviously, with all of the struggles, injuries, and turnover on the offensive line. Cornell Hatcher, another, highlight reel level plays. Kind of the story of this game, though. Are we entering a period of quarterback controversy or quarterback clarity? As the offense was having a tough time for not the first time under Malik Murphy and was not perfect with Jabari Johnson in there, but had more of a spark, and Jabari made some nice plays. He also threw a pick, but threw a touchdown. The team just felt a little bit more inspired with him out there.
A little bit.
The using words like juice and moxie and stuff. Yeah, well, reading in the body language is tough, but yeah, it was clearly a better product with Jabari under center. And I am at the point right now where I don't have a ton of anger or frustration or whatever towards Malik. It's just something that hasn't worked out. And I think that writing's been on the wall for a while. And I never viewed Malik as anything more than a 1-year contract. If things go great, he's on a 1-year contract, but not we're going to develop him to do even better in the first year of the new Pac-12, or we have a 2-year plan with Malik. I was never expecting to see him in Corvallis past this season. It didn't work out. So let's see what there is in Jabari. And it's not even a roster retention thing with looking for a new head coach. It's there's not a lot that can be gained if you go if you end up going 4-1 in your last 5 games after starting 0-7, I don't know what that necessarily does for you as you go through a head coaching cycle. But I would like to see what we have in these guys. And
yeah,
I think Jabari just has more years of college football in front of him, whether it's there's a lot of drama around who is looking for who in terms of the next Oregon State head coach. But I want to see the kid put some on tape, and maybe we can see Tristan Tia and others as well. It's just, it didn't work with Malik. No hard feelings. Go do whatever you want to do. But it's just, if he's awesome the next 4 games, what's the point? It's just that ship sailed for me.
Yeah, I'm in that boat. And also, it didn't work for Trent Walker either as a quarterback. I think we can put that to rest. Sorry, Trent, but I no hard feelings against Malik. I was thrilled. I'm still thrilled that he came to Oregon State. I would say that perception matters when it comes to off-season football moves, and that was at the bare minimum a great move perceptually for us that a player of his caliber elected to come to Oregon State and be our quarterback. It didn't work for a variety of reasons, and I think a lot of the turmoil and changes and everything else, whether that could have sparked a resurgence in his play, or maybe he felt like it was now going to hinder his abilities further. I don't know, but he just hasn't had it and hasn't been able to show his skill set with this team and with these play callers. Jabari, I think it's very clear, has a skill set that suits what they want to do, what the players are able to do. He opens up the field a ton with his feet. Mm-hmm. I mean, I think a knock on Malik was that he wasn't taking some of those like easy first downs that he could get with his feet, right? Or just getting the yards that we needed, instead of trying to extend the play, make a bad throw, rush throw, or take a sack that he shouldn't have. And I get that you're a quarterback, you want to throw the ball. But like the fact that Jabari could break free and get going, I mean, as soon as all that started, like everything else opened up. I mean, Hank had like the best half of his career, and our offense took over and had found rhythm. I mean, sample sizes are small, and like, I'm not, these aren't numbers to tout from like a gunslinger perspective, but like Jabari had 79 yards on 9 attempts. It was like 8.8 yards an attempt. He had the one pick, the deep ball wasn't a good throw, wasn't a good decision. You could tell right away he didn't like it. And I think him showing a little bit of emotion behind being upset with himself probably lended adding more credibility to why the players around him seemed to galvanize and play harder when he was under center. I think though, against a Lafayette team, which I would have expected a much, much, much better output, was like under 5 yards an attempt before he was replaced. Look, it didn't work. All right, like, if he could be a great teammate, mentor, if he could maybe figure out what will work in this system and help this team win, I'm all for all of that. But at this point, this is, from results-oriented game that football is, I saw more results individually as a unit and as a team with Jabari under center in the second half than I did with Malik so far this season. And I know it's Lafayette, but body language and effort and going the extra mile says a lot, and it was palpable through the TV.
Yeah, it's Lafayette, but you also had the sample size of seeing Malik versus Lafayette and Jabari versus Lafayette. So it's the same opponent. And I think what was telling is the spark in the team. And I don't want to, make assumptions that I have absolutely no inside information on, but you could assume that the team was sort of rallying behind Jabari. Why that is, I don't know. But I think that has to be something that's taken into consideration. And I agree with you guys. I think this is Jabari's team now for all the reasons that you guys mentioned, both results and the potential of the future, whether he comes back or not. But yeah, Malik's definitely not coming back. But yeah, I'm excited.
Do you think though that the results would be different had Jabari played earlier. Do you think that Jabari would be playing right now if Bray and Gunderson were still kind of leading both the team in the offensive unit?
That second question's a great question. I don't know, but
I think no.
But I would push back against your reaction, Terry. I think that the App State game could have turned out differently.
Maybe.
With Jabari in at quarterback. If what we saw on Saturday was the actual like difference between Jabari and Malik.
It's not fear, but just where I'm being careful with this is not to even like, I don't even think there's been much of a Malik pile on, and I'm purposely not paying attention to like those parts of the internet where that would happen anyway. But a big part of this, you know, and this has been organizational malpractice on a lot of fronts. And we're all in agreement that after everything we've seen, okay, Bray was not ready for this post, and whether was not willing to, you know, elevate himself to being that like CEO or whatever. There's just so many reasons why this team was unsuccessful. And I think a part of it is that we haven't talked about a ton this year is the roster also isn't talented enough. So I do think there's possibility that like a game or two we could like the Fresno State game for sure. The App State game was there, and also the Houston game was an absolute miss towards the end there. So that's, you know, 3 games, and you're thinking like, oh yeah, we could be, you know, 4-3 with those and blah, blah, blah.
So that's
but like,
a big difference though.
I know, but to say we're going to make all of those things happen, that's still, a lot of it wasn't just like, oh, the ball bounced this way. That was like several fuck ups in so many different spots by several different coaches and several different players. Like, this isn't a roster that like, oh, if only this had happened, this season could have been salvaged to this.
But my question really, I was setting this up, wasn't about salvaging or who would have won. More so, would this have happened had the coaches who brought Malik as a high-profile, highly paid transfer portal player to Oregon State? I mean, we've talked about the politics of the transfer portal. This is before really NIL became this big. And we talked about, like, you can't be a coach who recruits a kid out of the portal promising the world only to be like, nah, work for it. Nah, you're not starting. I need to see you do the XYZ better. It's like a mutual handshake that you have what we need.
You're our
you can do things that we want. You're the starter at whatever. Like, almost entirely, if there's money involved in the portal, like, that is the agreement, and that is why it is agreed upon by both parties to do it. And if you walk away from that agreement, like, there are agents that represent a lot of high profile players. There are clubs, traveling teams, camps, whatever, that have individuals who run that program that hear back about their player getting treated badly, and they start talking about it too. I mean, you can't blow it. So you have to get it right from like the beginning.
Yeah.
I don't blame them for not benching Malik really at all until they weren't involved. And they, you know, the coaches now really have nothing to lose.
Yeah.
But it goes back to my question then. It really becomes, what is worth it in the transfer portal? Is a big name worth it in the transfer portal? Or as Benny a couple episodes ago, or maybe both of you guys alluded to, like, couldn't we have spent that money on the offensive line and maybe bolstered that and gotten 3 guys that weren't making $1 million, but were ready to make a difference and wanted to fight for their roles and make some cash? Like, I don't know how to balance that, but I do feel like that is going to be a very tricky situation for schools like Oregon State going forward, where you can throw a bag at somebody and promise them the world, but if it doesn't work out, you're entirely screwed when you could have, like, the opportunity cost is so high for not reinvesting that in areas that you could have just elevated like an entire unit.
Well, it's easy to play fantasy football with it and just kind of assume that, say we hadn't gone after Malik, and you get like, oh, we could have gotten 3 $500,000 interior offensive linemen, but there's no guarantee that those level of players are available.
Yeah, the money that had to be spent. Let's be honest.
Yeah. So you can not spend it. You can save
in this case, maybe it did
later. But
yeah.
So it's interesting. I am fully in favor of a program in the portal that takes swings. So that's not a huge regret that I think the program should feel. I don't think when we look back on this season, and hopefully we're doing it at a time where things have gotten much better, I don't think that the $1.5 million going to Malik Murphy should be looked at as like the original sin.
I'm not walking it back. I'm talking about in the future.
Yeah.
Like, is this a lesson learned where we go, we have other things to shore up first?
A little bit.
Maybe we try to
but I don't think
that and
you can
convince our donors that this is more necessary than a flashy quarterback.
But you still might hit the right one though. There's always that chance.
Yeah, but I don't think that unless
like,
you're
look at Vanderbilt right now.
Yeah, but Vanderbilt has a lot of really good players on both sides of the ball.
Like, they do, yeah.
Yeah, Pavia is great, but Vanderbilt as a team is also really good. I think, I don't know, if you have the capital that Oregon State has, I think you do have to spread that out. And, you know, you have to strike it right with the quarterback, though. You have to, you know, recruit a quarterback that maybe you don't have to pay a ton of money to. So you have to find those gems in the rough. But you really do have to spread it out. I think that Malik, because here's the thing, is that Malik showed what he could do against really good competition. I mean, you didn't see a ton on tape when he was at Texas, but like the ACC's decent competition, and Malik had what I would consider to be an above good season at Duke, and he totally fell off. What I also think is that, I mean, from what I've heard, is that it was one donor that ponied up the 1.5 million. And from what I've heard, it was him saying, like, go out and get Malik. Now, if that's the case, I think that's, I mean, I guess
you do it 10 times out of 10. If there's a rich donor, it's money you wouldn't get anyway.
Okay, that's it. If it was money that you wouldn't get anyway, then,
that's what I mean.
For sure.
Like, that money was earmarked.
And it's not disrupting, like, synergy that you already have at the position.
Yeah, so I'm not trying to walk back this whole situation now. What I'm saying is this is a good learning experience example of, especially fans and donors, like, don't be like, we need to bring in a bunch of money to go get this quarterback or go get this running back or go get this linebacker, because it's never really, unless you're one piece away, it is never really one piece. So
exactly.
We weren't one piece away. We were a lot of pieces away. And
many.
The quarterback was maybe the most glaring piece. But what we've come to realize is that quarterback probably was the most glaring piece, not because of our quarterback room, but the guy in charge of the quarterbacks. And now he's, you know, technically still a quarterback's coach, but he's not calling the plays. And as soon as they shifted the play calling in the second half and being like, screw this, like RPO, you do what you want with your feet, Jabari, like, every play looks like it's going to Hank. It kept the defense off their toes, and they were tripping over themselves. Obviously, FCS school, you credit to them. But, like, Hank went off in the second half because of Jabari's legs, because of his running, and because of the marriage between the two, and that Jabari could make the throws when necessary. And it worked. And the play calling supported what their capabilities and their abilities are on the field.
Right. That
felt for the first time this whole season.
Yeah. You basically said the same, but I was going to say that felt like the first half of football this season that they were coaching to win and not coaching not to lose. Yeah. And the synergy was there too. And on Jabari too, after the Wake Forest game, he was the one that threw the effort word out there and questioned everyone's effort.
Yep.
On a day where we were clearly, you know, I don't want to say, you know, like talk shit about Trent Bray or whatever, but the effort reflected on the field was not reflective of a team trying hard to win for its coach. And Jabari called that out and said the effort was not acceptable. And that, you know, show whether he's here at Oregon State for the rest of this season and then that's it, or for the next, like 2 years. Like, I just want to see more. I want to see what he can do in a tough spot in Pullman and against the Cougs. And, you have another big sort of juicy should be win kind of matchup against Sam Houston State. And if you go into, these full weeks of practice with him taking reps with the ones, you'll learn a lot more about him. And that is more useful to me than trying to go 3-9 versus like 2-10 or 1-11. Like, I think we full learning mode with some semblance of roster retention on the back burner of just seeing what the young guys have.
Okay, so does Malik start another game?
No. Will he or should he?
Will he?
I'll say yes. If I'm calling the shots, no.
You have nothing to gain from it. Absolutely nothing to gain from it.
It didn't work out. Rip the Band-Aid off.
Yeah. I will say what I
drag the breakup out. Just do it.
What I hope
it's
to
gonna
learn.
Be tough. I mean, that's a tough
having
pill to swallow,
having 1.5 million sit on your bench for sure.
Yeah. Well,
at this point, that's the least of your worries.
I mean,
right.
But you've still technically got $700K sitting on your bench now for the remainder of the year.
What I hope the learning experience.
How do you sell it to the rest of the players?
Jabari is better. Jabari's played better. Jabari gives them a better chance to win.
Okay, but then, all right. I'm just saying
the players there right now are there to win. And any player you're recruiting is going to be playing for a different coach, or at least a different coach than the one who was in charge when Malik signed that deal. So you're pretty protected from being like, oh, we turned on Malik at the first sign of trouble. And after we saw last.
It's not about turning on him. I mean, you got to assume that there's some guys who will look over at the bench and be like, that guy's sitting there making $100K this game, and I'm out here busting my balls, and I'm making $1,000 maybe.
Sure, then play your way into that tier. That's college athletics right now.
Sure, but I'm saying that if you don't think that's going to be something that's going to cross minds, and
I think other programs are benching high priced talent who aren't performing, not necessarily at the quarterback position.
That players,
but you can't just let that. Sorry, Benny, go ahead.
If Malik wasn't, again, assumption, if Malik was the one who the fingers were pointing at, I would argue that players would be more upset that he was making 1.5 million when he's showing little effort and getting playing time when they're out there busting their ass.
I'm sure it goes both ways. I agree.
But I
think there's be players on both sides of that though, where they'll go, that guy's just sitting there now making money. And
there's going to be jealousy.
Like, there's a guy out there who's not trying and making money. Not saying he wasn't trying. I don't know that for a fact, but I'm just saying, I think it goes both ways.
And I would hope that the learning experience, going back to that was captured here, would be if you do have a donor that comes to you and says, hey, I want that player, I'm going to pay $1.5 million or donate $1.5 million so you can go get him. I would hope that the coaches would sit him down and say, hey, look, we have this guy, Jabari. We have a lot of faith in him. We think he could be great. That 1.5 million could really be used to solidify an offensive line so we can be, as a team, great. I don't know if this conversation
our quarterback might be better than the one you want if we give him the protection. Yeah.
I think that's what I hope.
But that maybe, not to give the dude credit, but that maybe goes back to Barnes's issue around Bray. And I don't think anyone's really talked about this, but that is a CEO level move to sit down somebody and say, here's how I think you would be wise to spend your money.
Yeah.
And if that didn't happen, then I could see why those comments at the beginning of before the season of, I'm not that kind of person about being a CEO, really rung in the ears of somebody like Bray, where he maybe, or in Barnes, sorry, where maybe he felt like Bray had, overextended himself by allowing this to happen without being a CEO and sitting down and saying, this is the big picture. You're looking at a tree in the forest, but like, here's the forest and here's what we actually need to have. And I want you to consider this instead. That's a tough conversation to have with somebody that wants to give you a lot of money out of charity, essentially. And I understand that that's not something that a lot of people like to do, but that does go. And this isn't a Barnes thing recently that he, like, I'm saying, oh, see, he's right. We talked about this literally in the middle of August, that it worried us that Bray was not accepting the CEO role and was deflecting it as him being not that kind of person. That's okay. But to put that out publicly means that if he's saying it publicly, he's doing it privately. And that's a situation that you were saying, you were explaining, where somebody has to be a CEO to direct that kind of conversation, to help people understand the bigger vision for the program. Maybe it did happen. Maybe it didn't. Maybe it was tried to and didn't come to fruition. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
who knows?
Either way, it does go back to the fact of whoever is the next head coach, whoever is the next athletic director, they have to be assertive. They have to be that builder, CEO, take this to the moon mindset. Like, it cannot be like, you've got it under control. No, you've got it under control. No, I don't want to do it. Well, I don't want to do it. And then no one does it. And then you end up in a situation where somebody else decides.
Okay. So let me to segue. If you guys were to have to pick one person who would be the head coach for Oregon State next year, who would that person be?
This is a hell of a segue. One person, kind of like money's no object.
No.
Optics are no object.
Optics are no object, but like, it's somebody who Oregon State could reasonably expect to get next year. Not James Franklin.
Picasile Orgeron. But Franklin is getting paid $50 million by Penn State no matter what. So he could just say F it and coach anywhere. I'd say that's a 0.00001% chance. But what is that kind of buyout do to someone's mentality? Like, do you care? You're getting paid $50 million by your former employer. On, like, we could pay him whatever.
Yeah, but then does he care? That's also the point.
But he had probably, like, he only cares about winning with his middle finger towards the east somewhere, like, big enough so they could see it in Pennsylvania.
Maybe. I think some people I'd want to have a job and I'm getting paid, whatever.
Franklin did great at smaller, like, programs in similar spots before Penn State, so I would be interested, but that's not happening. I'd say, like, the pie in the sky one is still Orgeron, and then you said one person, so I'll say Orgeron to be truthful to the question.
Well, who would you say is number two? You seem like you're stuck on somebody.
Pretty much a tie between Eck at New Mexico and Vigen at Montana State is more reasonable, but I think in the same realm.
I'm going to be a pessimist and just say I don't really think it matters who we hire if Scott Barnes is still our athletic director.
Gary Anderson just walked out. Yeah. But the qualifier is different, but yeah.
And also Orgeron, I mean, Gruden has his own baggage, which is no one's really talking about Gruden, though there was grumblings of Gruden, not this year, but in 2 years ago or 18 months ago.
When Bray was tired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Orgeron, he's got some baggage too. I mean,
he does.
We did fire our newly appointed university president. What is his name? F. King Alexander.
F. King.
Is that his name?
Yeah.
F. King, like fucking King. I mean,
who presided over?
Yeah. Who was the president at the time with Orgeron during the ordeal at LSU and the non-reporting and protection of sexual
Was that what he was fired
allegations.
for? That's what Alexander was fired for?
Well, yeah. And like our board of trustees like didn't vet. It was embarrassing. It was bad.
What a surprise. Oregon State doesn't do their homework? What? Wow. You know, when I was at Oregon State, I didn't do my homework either.
Yeah.
Don't I did not.
I for sure didn't.
So,
not my freshman.
I don't know. I don't know if it matters who we bring in if the department is what it is, because it's going to be the same story. it's going to be the exact same story. We may have some good years, but when it comes to retaining said coach, whether they're an up-and-comer, whether they're somebody that's a retread and a bounce-back role, retaining them is unlikely. Unlikely. Because blame needs to be placed somewhere, and it's sure as hell going to be protected from being placed at the top.
Okay, so what about if we fired Scott Barnes, new athletic director comes in?
Then I want them to choose. I don't even have a pick. I want to ride with what they've got. Because if they're coming in here and they're trying to build a resume and plant their flag, I would feel good about that hire more than any search committee, more than any alumni committee, more than Scott Barnes and his minion Brent Blaylock, now part of the search somehow, which is
unbelievable,
mind blowing. That's even
just
part
the
of this discussion. Just like ridiculously stupid, just so stupid. Almost like he wants to be fired.
I know.
Like how many times? How much more can I include Brent Blaylock to get fired?
It's so
You're
bad.
On the right track, Scott.
It's so bad that he chose Brent Blaylock to be part of the committee, but the optics are even worse than the actual decision. Like Brent Blaylock is squarely in the crosshairs.
Blaylock's
right now.
not on the committee. He's just involved. There's the search firm, and then there's that search committee that put together. Blaylock's name isn't in that.
It's like an advisory committee. It's not a search committee. They're not.
Yeah, advisory committee. Yeah, and also I don't think like the listing of that, and like shout out to everyone on that list, especially Brandon Cooks and Mike Riley. But I don't think those people on that list are being empowered at all. I think this is just Barnes.
It's a token
putting another
role,
another human shield in front of them.
Yeah,
and then for some reason Blaylock's in this too, and a very expensive, I'm sure, and reputable Chicago-based search firm is now hired. So if what a lot of people's wish list is, if Barnes were fired today, or by the time you're listening to this podcast in the next week, new athletic director probably comes in with those suits in Chicago on retainer to do whatever he wants and could use them or not. You know, like search firms are fairly common in this. It's not common to have a search firm. And then also these people. And then also my right-hand man. And then also this guy. And I'm throwing a bone to this alum. Like, it's usually just kind of the athletic director, and they hire this search firm to help carry out and build a list of candidates. And that's simple. And I kind of am just dreaming of a world where this is simple and boring until a non-boring head coach walks on the campus, hopefully with an administration that has what it takes to support him. But I agree with you.
I'll be more excited if a non-boring coach comes in with a new athletic director, because that means it's all fresh blood.
Yeah, the same way it's not just a quarterback issue. It's not just a Bray issue. Like, it's so much.
Yeah.
Like, so like it is fun to talk about head coaches and like who would do a good job, and like, you know, who has connections on the West Coast and is familiar with the area and who's recruited well in this area previously. Like, those things do matter, but the root of the problem is deep. And I don't even know, like, if you firing Scott Barnes would appease a lot of people, but even if you do that, the next move also has to be a great move. Like, you can't fire Scott Barnes and then do some penny pinching move in reaction to that to just move forward. Like, there needs to be seismic change and a clear path forward charted by whoever fills that seat. I want big change in as many ways possible, like many Beaver fans do, but I don't think I'll be dancing in the street if that happens. I'll be kind of like, okay, now my eyes are peeled to see what you guys do next, because the work is really only starting at that point.
Yeah.
Well, that comes down to Murphy then.
It does.
Yeah, Scott Barnes clearly has to go.
But by all accounts, she's not interested. She's about as interested in sports as Chen So Wong is.
Yeah. Well, that's a problem.
It's a big problem. All of this, top to bottom, is a big problem.
And the thing is like the fan engagement and outrage and frustration and everything that's boiling out of the pot right now, would subside so much, and there would be a new level of excitement and anticipation if we were to get rid of Barnes and we were to hire a coach that excited people. And I think there are a lot of coaches out there that would excite people. Terry,
but pairing them with Barnes is the problem.
For sure.
They exist and they may come, but like, yeah, don't get your hopes up, because not that they're not going to be here, but that they're going to stay here or care about being here or feel motivated about being here when being set up the current administration. Yeah, exactly. With the current administration.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, my final thoughts, I guess, I don't know. I mean, I think you have to go. I'm almost more excited about replacing the AD and instilling a true GM than I am about whoever they bring in as a head coach.
Yeah, that's
right, because a head coach in this day and age, it has to be mostly good about X's and O's. And I would love to get any brilliant mind that can do that on our sidelines. Everything else involved with college athletics and squarely college football falls into the GM and AD role. And right now we have no GM. It's a GM by committee, according to Barnes. And he's downplaying the importance of that title and role within a collegiate sports organization. And it's Scott Barnes at the top. And it's really Brent Blaylock at the top, because everything that Barnes doesn't want to do, he gives to Brent Blaylock, which is why Brent's involved in this coach hiring process.
Yeah.
All of that is so problematic and terrible that I don't even care if we got Orgeron, Gruden, Eck, anybody. It's not going to work with those dudes that's involved.
To hijack the question and apply it to, if say the AD spot is open at any point in the future, I honestly kind of hope we get someone who we haven't heard of before, someone who's been behind the scenes, ideally at a place that's been successful, but someone with a lack of an ego, is a good, builder, like you said, JP, and delegator, and then the GM would be the splashy administrative hire in that sense. Like I want an AD who.
What if Jay Harbaugh was the GM?
I would love that. I want Jay Harbaugh involved anywhere if he's interested. But I don't know if
he's got a name for the GM role.
He does. I don't know if he's interested in moving into that from coaching, but it's worth that would be, if you're giving me the AD role, and no one is, and they shouldn't. But yeah, Jay Harbaugh's that's a day one phone call.
I just think that you have to find. I just think you have to find a guy that has head coaching experience. Quote by Bray of like, I'm not a CEO. You have to find a CEO. You have to find somebody who's used to managing offensive and defensive coordinators. Unless you're getting a coordinator from, SEC or Big Ten school, which you're not.
People keep throwing out Ryan Grubb who's the OC at Alabama just because he has Northwest ties, and I'm like,
no,
that dude's not taking this job.
No,
but you don't need to be the CEO type if you have a GM.
Yeah, but I still want somebody that can manage offensive and defensive coordinators.
Sure. I think the majority of coaches can. I think that Bray is a bad example of that because he had his friends,
and he's also
he recruited in a time of need.
Yeah,
and he's young, but like I would imagine that almost any other head coach that's available at this point, especially, wouldn't have a problem. I mean, maybe Neuheisel, but like, wouldn't have a problem trying to like put their foot down and be like, this is my organization. This is how we're running it. But I worry about the rest of the things, like sitting down with a donor and saying, well, hold on, how do we want to really spend this money? And I think a dedicated GM has business savvy, that understands college athletics, that isn't afraid to overstep in the eyes of a athletic director and owns their decisions, is paramount for us, more so than maybe anything else. But you have to have an AD in there that is willingly appointing a GM that gives them that level of autonomy, and one that can work well with a head coach, and the head coach that can work well with
the GM role has to get figured out.
But it won't, because it's by committee and it's not important and it's a misnomer, and whatever other terms Barnes ready to downplay it. Like nothing matters unless we figure out all that at the top. Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Agreed.
Benny, just to humor you, what's the if say things get figured out at the top? What would the head coach name be that you're most excited about?
I'm with you on Orgeron, man. I think that you have to be in win now mode, and Orgeron certainly would be that. I do like Eck, although New Mexico has sort of not performed well as of late. But if you can get Orgeron, like, I am willing to look past a lot at this point. And I don't think what he did at LSU was noble or just or good, but I don't know, man.
He also wouldn't have been fired if LSU hadn't regressed from a national champion to a 500 team.
Yeah.
He would still be at LSU, and LSU hiding behind that to be like, oh, this is convenient because the team regressed is also shitty. And
here's the thing is the right coaches out there. There is a coach that can come into, there's several coaches that can come into Oregon State and be really successful, but you have to thread the needle. And JP, just like what you've been saying, I don't trust our administration to thread that needle right now. And you really have to. So I don't know if it's the FCS route. There are obviously like tons of pros to go with an up and coming FCS coach that's exciting, that is really determined. But then there's also a lot of pros about getting someone who's well established and who has a national championship under their belt. Sort of like with the Malik Murphy thing. If someone gives you $1.5 million to go out and get Malik Murphy to upgrade, you can't say no. If someone comes and wants to be the head coach at Oregon State who has a national championship, it's really tough to say no to that. So,
well, I don't know. You guys saw Orgeron's comments earlier today? This was like
was he like Oregon State? Ew.
On 3. No, essentially it was just that he said, I'm not going to just take any job. Not everyone's going to take me. Like leverage. That he's willing to be a defensive line coach.
Leverage.
But
hard to get.
Leverage against what? Incompetence? You're never going to win that battle.
No college coach has ever been like, please hire me publicly. Ever.
No, but it sounds like
I really need a job. Someone help me.
It does sound like he's interested in being somewhere where he can help win a championship. Not to say that Oregon State may never win one, but with
a Pac-12 championship's a championship.
I don't think that is in his cards.
Yeah, it might not be.
I would agree.
I think it would be smart for him to take that call.
You're also biased.
I am biased, but also the offers aren't exactly piling up at other programs. And I'm also happy with trading someone who wants to be somewhere bigger in 3 years if it helps our program grow over the next 2 to 3 years. And that's a trade I'm happy making.
Yeah. Right. And I wouldn't expect Orgeron to stick around for more than 3 years. But like I said, you're in win now mode. You have to come out of the doldrums that we're in swinging and start the new Pac-12 season off with a bang. And Orgeron could do that. We'll see.
Keep an eye on 3 Beavers Edge. They have their head coach hot board.
Ryan's killing
they're
who is the top
of
that hot board right now? I know it doesn't matter if it's the same administration.
I don't have it.
I don't
have it up, but I think
it was Vigan last time. But
well, there's probably more news about things impacting the administration soon. So keep your eye on on 3 and Ryan Harlan.
Terry, you gonna take it away?
The odds for James Franklin are not at 0 on terrysvegas.com. The question is, I'm going to give you the question before I give you the context. How does that sound? And the question is this something or nothing? All right. Is this something or nothing? Oregon State men's basketball beats Cal in a private scrimmage by reported score of 76-66.
Something. It's something.
It's something. But is it an official road game?
I actually don't know where the scrimmage was played. Was it in
St. Mary's?
It was. It was at St. Mary's. Nice. What? Yes, it's an official road. Did they drive on a road to get there? Then yes, it's a road game. I say it's something, as in it's something that happened. I'd have to go back and look. Maybe you can have our Andre/AI intern private scrimmages have taken place in men's basketball preseasons before and what they signal. Though this would be, as I have said to everyone who's like, if you fire Tinkle, it solves everything. He made the tournament in the 15-16 season and the Elite Eight in the 2021 season. And I said, if you get that every 5 years, just get to the tournament every 5 years, every Beaver fan should take that relative to what we had before. So this is the year that he has to go to the tournament or I have egg on my face. And I never have egg on my face. No one's ever said anything out of pocket or dumb on this podcast in 193 episodes. And I don't intend to be the first one. So this must mean that this team can make it to the big dance and we can cue.
If they can win on the road, then they're going to
just win a little bit on the road. They don't even need to win a lot on the road.
But I mean, look, Cal's an ACC team. ACC basketball is sort of king.
See you later. Do you think they said that as we left?
And I don't know. I think basketball is one of those sports. Like baseball is weird, right? Like you can have a real shitty team beat a real good team on any given day,
like the Toronto Blue Jays against the Seattle Mariners.
yeah, they fucking suck. But basketball is not that way, man. If you don't have the players to hang with the players on the other team, you're gonna get run off the court.
Right.
So, yeah, I think there's something.
You win, that means you're better. You win, that means you impose your will. Right.
I'm just happy we didn't lose by 20.
Right. And we won by 10, and that means we're better because you can't do that in basketball. And this is the part of the podcast where I inform you that the Minnesota Timberwolves beat the Portland Trailblazers tonight by a final score of 118-114.
None of my teams can win. Except who would have thought Oregon State would have been my team that would have won
the Oregon State men's basketball and Oregon State football gave you nothing but wins this week, Benny.
Man,
you trade them for any other wins in your fandom. And the Niners.
Hey, the Niners.
It's the first time all season that both of my football teams won a game in the same weekend.
It's also the first time that one of your football teams have won a game all season.
Do not screw up my statistics, Benny.
2 for 2, 2 for 2.
Also, the Dubs beat the Lakers.
They did.
Good for you.
They
I don't
like
the Lakers, except for Nick Van Exel. I like
that was a long time ago, and Nick Van Exel was also a Warrior.
Hey, I have a Nick Van Exel Warriors jersey, the city one,
which you didn't bring to Las Vegas, which I thought we were going to be Nick the Quick Brothers.
Nick Bros,
coolest guys in Las Vegas. Should we bring back the prediction segment to end this episode?
We have a bye this week.
Yeah, we have a bye this week.
Oh, fuck. So we're not going to lose.
Bring it back next week. Yeah.
I predict we have a bye.
2 non-losses
consecutive
in a row.
Unbeaten streak like no other.
Unbeatable.
We are unbeatable. All right.
Now get Barnes out of the seat.
Yeah, maybe they'll do that on Saturday.
I think there's
Oh, man. That'd be better than a win.
There's a trustees meeting on the 27th. Believe. Is that what it is?
That would be Sunday.
Scott Barnes better be nervous because it's about to be real spooky season for him.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no. It's saying tomorrow.
Maybe when people are listening to this, Scott Barnes will be
meeting's
gone.
Tomorrow, as in Thursday the 20th.
Well, no, as in Thursday the 23rd in 2025, Terry.
It's the 23rd for you right now because it's after midnight.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It is after midnight.
And something evil's lurking in the dark.
Wow. Okay. That means we have to just end the episode. If I don't even know what day it is, these guys don't even know what day it is. Dumb and Dumber fix the college football playoff. Surprisingly good insight. Remember that 5-star review from a lawyer?
Yeah. A lawyer. That was a lawyer.
These 3 guys smoking pot and probably a few other things, but then I agreed with a bunch of stuff.
Surprisingly good, yeah.
Surprisingly good. Yeah, I think we described this podcast as surprisingly good.
Yeah.
We think it's dumb, but we're really just here to hang out and have a good time. And for everyone still listening at this point of the episode, we appreciate you for hanging out and having a good time with us. So why don't you celebrate that time by taking just a little bit more time, just like 5 more seconds, I promise, to give us a 5-star review wherever you get your podcast, whether this is Apple, Spotify, or something new and cool that I don't even know about yet. 5 stars. It really helps us grow the show a lot and helps us stick to the top of that algorithm. My name is Terry Horseman. You can follow me on Twitter at Terry Horseman and Blue Sky at Terry Horseman, and on Instagram.com at Terrence Horseman. I did that backwards this time, silly me. I am joined, as I always am, by my best fucking friends.
Thank you.
Benjamin Lawrence, Sebastian Wehage, a.k.a. Benny with the Good Quaff, a.k.a. Benny Bowl Game, not this year, a.k.a. Benny Blastoff, a.k.a. Benny Burner, a.k.a. Benny Bedlam, because he's fucking crazy, folks. And at Benny L, 1986, across socials. And the man behind the ones and twos, steering the ship, keeping us pointed in the right direction, JP Bertram. You can follow him at the Trill J on Twitter. That's at the _Trill_J, because he's too trill to be real. And on Instagram at JP Bertram. Are you also the Trill J on Blue Sky, JP? No, you're like JP something
Bertram.
JP Bertram. .go Beavs.
JP
app.
Yeah, JP. I don't know, something like that.
That's Blue
And
Ski.
JP Bertram on Sora too.
And it's JP Bertram on Sora. Are you Benny L 1986 on Sora? And
no, just Benny L.
Just
yeah.
He's really messing
Dumb
with
and Dumber. Beavis and Butthead all do conference realignment, sorta, after smoking some pretty good pot
on Sora.
Thank you, Charles Foster Malloy.
Malloy the Malloyer.
Attorney at law. Lawyer Malloy. That's who Lawyer Malloy was named after for the New England Patriots. He won Super Bowls. Oh, with the aforementioned Bill Belichick. Maybe I'll just say Bill Belichick a bunch of these episodes, and that helps
and Tom Brady.
Algorithm.
Who I've met.
Tom
Brady. Went to my high school.
Yeah. Sarah. Go, Sarah.
Ryan Gunderson went to my high school.
Boo.
The guy who sang the guy who sang the chorus in that Lupe Fiasco song went to my high school.
Whoa.
Superstar.
Really?
Okay. Yeah, it is a good chorus. Superstar. Yeah. It's fuck.
I'll send my kid there.
Yeah, it's a solid school. Across the country. I don't know where he's gonna have room and board. Not my house. Follow us as a show for gosh darn sakes at Belligerent Beavs on Twitter, at Belligerent Beavs everywhere else. That means Instagram. That means Blue Sky, Facebook, the other ones, One Fish, Two Fish, Red Note, Blue Sky, TikTok, whatever. Just we're on the things. We don't care. Belligerent Beavs. You'll find us at www.belligerentbeavs.com. belligerentbeavs.com/merch. Get some merch before if you buy the 2024 Pac-12 champion shit now, it will be there before round 1 of the 2025 Pac-12 championships with Wazoo next weekend. I burped.
Nice.
And that's the end of the show. Thank you so much.
7.
Sure. And no matter what they do, no matter what they say, no matter what they take away, either in the boardroom, in the transfer portal, or while you're trying to just finish your darn live shot at Reser Stadium and they yell some sequential numbers in your ear, they literally cannot spell chop 'em without hope. So, that in mind, chop 'em.
Chop 'em.
Chop 'em.
Beavs back, hopefully.
Fire Barnes.